inspirational collection?
There's been on my travels. I mean, there's some of it's from Kota Kinabalu when I went there, Thailand, but most of it's just been in China, like Yangshuo, like I said, and Yunnan, things like that. They're just kind of experimental, impressionist style, using acrylic. So I don't use oils. I'm not confident with oil paint, and it takes a long time for oil paint to dry. And I find using acrylics, you can do things a lot faster, you know, and it dries fast. But you just capture. There's one painting with 3 girls sat down. I've only seen that one. 3 women dressed in traditional clothes. That was in Yunnan, and they're sat there, and they're not really traditional people. I mean, when they go home, they just dress in like t-shirt and jeans or whatever.
Just for the tourists.
Yeah, just for the tourists. Yeah, but I just found that moment when they just sat there taking a break, just sat there, you know, they're having a rest. They've been dealing with tourists all day. It's lunchtime, and they just sat down for a bit. But the buildings and everything are all traditional buildings, and the bridge and everything. And I thought, well, it captures a moment that's not really modern. It's not like it does look traditional, you know. And then the Mongolian one with the horses.
That was the Kazakh hunt.
That's right.
Yeah, that was another one that caught my eye straight away.
Right. Well, that's when I watched a documentary about it on TV. I'd never been there, but after watching the documentary, I was really interested. I thought that's brilliant. And they said the hawks, whatever they are, and they go off and they get the rabbits or like whatever they get, and you know, as long as I produce a painting for them, So that was like, I really enjoyed it. I mean,
did you feel pressure to produce some work? I mean,
no, because that's the best time you produce work is when you're under pressure. I think.
Deadline.
You've got a deadline. You've got a deadline to meet. You've got to get it done. I think that's when you do it best. And I always put it off me, the deadline. And I'll keep it off. So the painting actually took 3 days. That's all. But the amount of time was 11 days. So you know, it's like. And I started the painting at night, and this was really important for me. I didn't realise it at the time. And I'm there on the rooftop with my canvas next to the swimming pool, and people were like having a little party, and I'm the artist. I really felt like Van Gogh or something like that at the time. You know what I mean? You know, some artist with his canvas. So, and I did it at night because I liked the lights across the city, and everything was dark apart from the buildings, and the buildings were orange during the night time, and the sky was kind of orange because of the lights, you know, and everything kind of made sense. I thought, this makes sense to do the painting at night, to put the background on, because like I said before, I like painting from dark to light. So I've got my art room. I don't know if you've seen that on my...
I think I have, yeah.
So I've got my own art room now. So that means I can go there and I can work on my own things, my own projects, and then have my classes, you know. So instead of working at home, which is quite boring, being at home too long
easy
on your own.
Just too many distractions. And
you know. So, but it's nice to be in a creative place where, you know, you're working with creative people, and then I can get on with it there. So that's my plan, and then that will give me my inspiration, you know, to give me the motivation really to carry on and do something worthwhile. When you start thinking too much, that's when you kind of lose the trail. You know, you've got the hardest thing about painting is the first brush stroke.
It's the start.
And you've got to paint it black first, and then you've got to let it dry. You know, then you get your stuff on the Photoshop, and then you've got to decide which part you're going to begin with, you know, because you've got so many pieces, like a jigsaw, you know, you've got so many pieces to put together. It's where the hell are you going to start, you know? So I usually start, you know, I'll go with the darkest colour first, and then build it up to the lightest colour last, and then that makes more sense to do it that way. But it's, once you get going, it's like a steam train, you know? It just goes, and it just keeps going, you can't stop then. And then, you know, if you take a break, you might take a break, and then you end up a week later having to start again, and to get back into it.
Is there any amongst your collection that took you a really long time to finish, or are they all quite reasonably quick in an artist's perspective?
Oh, the last one I did, everything broken up in dances, the last one I did, and it was just a mingle of colours, and it was all like, you had to get it right to make, it was so difficult to get everything in the right place to make it work, and to get the colours, to coordinate the colours, to get them to work together. You've got your charts, you've got your reds, your greens, you've got your blues and oranges and purples and yellows, and it's just trying to get them to get them in the right place, so there's no conflict between colours, because that was the most colourful one, and there wasn't any conflict in the colours, which I was really happy with. In the end, I was like, but I had to change it a few times, it's like,
do it and then,
oh damn, that doesn't work, I've got to change it to make it.
So on a time scale?
A week. Some paintings I've done take a couple of weeks because I've got to do obligations to do other things. So, but in total, I'd say working hours for one painting would take me about, I don't know, 45 to 50 hours to complete. That's from start to finish, like no breaks, like. But I always work with a certain palette of colours. So if I'm going to start painting, right, so I look at the colours that I'm going to be using, so I make sure I've got those colours mixed in the palette. And it's water, it's like a airtight proof. So you get your colours mixed, and you put them into this airtight container, so you can close it and they don't dry up, and then you can just open it and then just get back into it again. The Legends paintings weren't too bad actually. They're pretty quick because there's not too much involved in those. They're not overcomplicated. Because you start off with the original, you know the face. It's getting familiar with the face, and you spend a lot of time looking. That's the main thing about art, is you should spend more time looking than actually producing, and that's where a lot of artists or students get unstuck,
It's boring.
Well, they spend too much time drawing and not enough time looking, because you've got to be observant, so you've got to observe what you're doing, absorb it, absorb, that's right. And then do it, but you've got to, you've got to get everything just right, like all the proportions and everything like that. That's the hardest part. The first part, the hardest part, is actually doing the drawing, before you start doing anything else. So painting black, then I use a white pencil, and I use the white pencil to draw out the line and everything of the picture. And then once I've done that, then I'm happy with it, and I've got the perspective right, then I can start applying the colour. So it would take me about, for the Kurt Cobain, probably took about 20 hours. Prince was the hardest because of the eyes. Because if you look at that painting, you notice that I did spend a lot of time on the eyes to get it right.
Very distinct, because it's the first thing that you're drawn to. Looked at it, especially Kurt Cobain as well. Elvis Presley.
Yeah, his glasses, sunglasses, grey, and I just had to make them. Orange glasses, just get out of the routine.
I've seen you've done some illustrations for games, inspirational games.
Oh yeah, have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen the.
You saw that?
Fine, the small, detailed, board
the
games.
motivation board game. You saw that, did you?
I've seen those. Yeah.
Where are they posted? Are they posted on the website?
They're on your website. Yeah, they were on.
I never make plans.
Day by day.
Yeah, I'm literally just living for the moment. I live in the moment, and that's basically me. And
but you want to become successful in your work. I mean, I should imagine the ideal would be to sell some work, become popular.
Right, so what's going to happen this year, as far as I know, right? So I've got my agency, Turner Fine Arts. Now, he said something about an exhibition in summer. So one of the biggest problems that I had was getting those paintings back to the UK. So what I had to do, I had to take them off the board, off the frame. I had to take them off and roll them up and then take them back that way, which is a pain, really, you know. So he's got all the dance paintings there. Everything's broken up in Dance's collection. He's got all that. I've still got all the Legends collection. Now, I'm only working on an 80 by 60 centimetre frame, because I know I can pack 10 of them up and I can post it to them, you know, without having to worry about taking it off again and rolling it up. All my other paintings are all on canvas boards, all quite small, you know, all the Chinese stuff, which I don't really care about. That's just for me, that's my stuff personally. There's one particular painting that I like, that I want, you know, I wouldn't sell. I don't want to sell paintings. I'd rather sell prints. You know, because there's one with Phoebe with the umbrella on the beach.
That's it,
and that's in what's it called, Dongao Island. So I want to keep that one. That's one of my favourites. That one. So they've got this new technique now of like printing. So they get your painting, and they take a photograph. And this guy's fantastic. I've forgotten his name. His company. They take a photograph of your painting, and then just touch it up with Photoshop a little bit, you know, any blemishes or anything like that because of the photography, you know, level. But it's really good photography, and they print it on canvas, so it actually looks like a painting. You know, it's a really good.
So you could just send the file. And they could do it at the other end then. Because I seen the on the website about prints. You can buy prints.
That's right.
Not the actual, unless you want to pay the money.
I mean, like for one painting, if I was going to sell one painting, no, I don't decide the price. I let the dealers, you know, or the curator, decide. And so I've got an exhibition coming up in June or July, where they're going to actually reframe my pictures for me. And that's going to be in London. And then my friend at the moment, John Zember, he's working with a company, Heather Mills in Los Angeles, and they're really interested in my stuff. So I might have an exhibition there in November. I'm not sure, so I'm just playing it by ear at the moment, you know. So we're going to wait. Well, she's asked me how much do I want, you know, and I said, look, I'll leave it to you guys to decide. I've been quoted for one of the dance paintings, £1,200, which is pretty good. You know, and that's just for me. So they make their money on top. So, but I've just got to, you know, I'm not doing any more paintings for now. I'm taking a break, but I know I can get back into it as soon as I'm ready. You know, I can get back into it. But I just want to see how it goes first. I want to start thinking about, you know, how we can sell the stuff, how we can proceed now, get the prints done. And I signed 50 prints, 25 of the ribbon dance print, and 25 I signed of the 25 limited edition, 25 only, of the Swan Lake, because they're quite interested in that. So I've sold several of those, and just waiting now for like the feedback from the galleries, because obviously at the moment my agent is concentrating on a couple of other artists. What this artist does is there's one guy, he goes to the crematorium, right, and he gets the ashes from the dead person, right. Then he uses the ashes to create a picture and paint with paint, right? And then he can give it to the, you know, instead of spreading the ashes, you kind of put it into a painting.
That's different.
It's weird, isn't it? But you get all, because he works at the crematorium. So it's different. That's what I mean. But that's what, you know. That's what people are interested in the art world these days.
Yeah, you know. Right, I think we've covered about absolutely everything on my list, and thanks for coming.
Nice one. Cheers.
Nice one.
So let's do.
We'll arrange the